Hello, welcome to Cycling Tips. I am Dave and I am on a bike that I'm guessing is going to have the comment section below be a lively place to be. That's because I'm on Scott's new e-road bike, the Scott Addict e-road. Right, let's crack on. Right then, let's delve into the spec before I let you know if this thing is any good. For starters, this isn't a road bike that, well, I'd go out and buy. Not at the moment, at least, anyway. But as I said when I reviewed the Pinarello Nitro about 3 years ago, there is definitely a place for e-road bikes, and it's growing quickly. I stand by with what I said back then when I did ride the very first e-road bike that I ever got my leg over. And that is that there is definitely a group of people, or multiple groups of people out there, that e-road bikes are ideally suited for, whether that's somebody who's recovering from an injury or has a recurring injury, people who are maybe just getting out started on the road bikes and want to get out with a group that maybe be a little bit faster than them, or the reason that I really got taken to pieces 3 years ago, there might be the older person out there who still wants to get out on the club run but feels that they're maybe not as quick as the young whippersnappers who are turning up now. There's guys that I grew up with when I first started cycling when I was in my mid-teens who were in their 40s then. They're obviously a lot older now. They do have injuries, underlying problems, maybe not as fit as they were back in the 30s and 40s, but still want to get out on the club ride. And because we're mates, they may feel like they're holding the younger lads back, stopping them from doing what they want to do. Bonjour. The simple fact is that e-bikes are going to allow more people to get out and enjoy themselves. I've seen it firsthand here in Europe. It's amazing how diverse the amount of people I've seen out dashing about, whether it's on mountain bike e-bikes or town e-bikes or the odd road e-bike that I've seen. So for all you haters out there, well, the problem with e-bikes in Europe though is that they are limited to 25 kilometers an hour. That's the cut-off point with the assist. I know that can be a problem if you're going out on a club run and you're on the flat, say. Once you get to that 25 kilometers an hour, you're on your own. There's no assist there. So I would like to see that upped a little bit, but on the hills, it's the ideal sort of tempo. You're not going to get dropped on your local club run, I wouldn't have thought. But the fact that there is pretty much no drag in that rear hub once you turn it off, unlike the older models, does mean that you're not fighting against an extra force while on the flat if you do go above 25 kilometers an hour. So that's awesome. In the US it's different, you go up to about 20 miles an hour, I think. Okay, I have had to hand the eRide back. I'm on my normal bike and I've come up to one of my filming locations halfway up the Sennos. Without the assist, it's given me time to think about what I really liked and disliked about the Addict eRide, and there is a lot to like about it. First up, how slick does it look? They have done a superb job of making it look like not an e-bike. Yep, it looks like a chunkier version of the Addict RC, but in amongst a Sunday club run, you'd be hard pushed to tell that it's an e-bike without looking at the rear hub. But that's not the only thing to like about it. That Marley X35 rear hub motor works a treat. Things have come on leaps and bounds in the 3 years since I last rode a Marley powered e-bike. Not just in the distance that you can cover due to the battery, but also the smooth progression of the power that it delivers. There's none of this jerkiness anymore. That lower torque on the rear hub though doesn't have you jumping out of corners like a Formula 1 driver, which I really like. It's definitely more natural, a lot more smoother, and well, just works with a bike really well. Scott have really fine-tuned it, and the other thing that I like about it is that you can tune it even more using the app. Yes, the e-bike motion app isn't the most slick out there. There is a few little bugs, but it does give you a lot of customization. For controlling all this, well, you've got that button on the top, or a phone app, or connect it to your bike computer. Personally, I like to hook it up to your Wahoo or your Garmin. If you're using neither of them and you're just relying on the little light that is around the button, you will probably find that it's not the easiest thing to see how much power you've got left or what setting you're in. It does the job, but it's just not perfect. Geometry wise, it is a very aggressive bike really. It is a slightly taller but slightly shorter version of the Addict, but not by much. It's actually surprised me that Scott have gone down this route. I was expecting more of an endurance bike from them rather than, let's say, a race bred machine. The range now being 120 kilometres and 2,200 metres of elevation does seem pretty damn far. But the thing about that is that it does mean you are carrying that extra battery, which doesn't really make the bike that super lightweight like they are claiming. Without that second battery, you're not going to get the same amount of distance, but you are getting a lighter bike. Depends how far you want to go and how heavy you want to be, I suppose. Another thing I don't like about that bottle cage battery is that, well, it's a proprietary bottle cage that, well, doesn't fit a bottle in. The battery is huge, so if you're wanting to take any more than one bottle, well, you can't. That 3-hour charge time for the battery isn't exactly sluggish. It could on occasion possibly limit you getting out the door to meet that bunch if you forgot to plug it in the night before. As for the ride quality, well, it's not as plush as a normal Addict, and that's understandable because obviously this frame has had to be beefed up in a few places. The carbon layer has to be changed to accommodate the different strains that the motor puts on the frame. The range consists of 3 bikes plus a women's specific version. That top end one I was riding is very, very nice, but it is very, very expensive as well. Yes, the dual race works like a dream. The integrated bars and stem I got on with a lot, but that's going to be a personal thing. I do love how everything is integrated, everything is hidden away, it looks super slick. And the rest of the components, well, the saddle for instance, I like that much that I've actually got one on this bike and I've been using for probably about the past year. The fact that the bike comes with 30mm tyres and does take up to 32mm tyre is also a boon, because as we know, everybody's venturing onto a little bit rougher stuff now with their road bikes. All in all though, I have really enjoyed riding the Scott Addict eRide. It is a bike that I think is going to appeal to a lot of people. It is incredibly light for an e-bike, especially without that second battery pack. There is a few niggles that could be changed, but all in all, they've hit the nail on the head. It handles nicely, it looks good, it is expensive, and to spot them well, you're gonna have to be eagle-eyed. Shh, I told him. I suppose that's him telling me that I should round this thing up. Okay, let us know what you think of the eRide in the comments below. Be nice, people. I know it's an e-bike review, but there's no need to get angry and grumpy. Also, while you're down that way, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and until next time, thank you for watching and enjoy your riding.